Hey guys, I'm back to have a bit of a moan as usual. So let's start at the beginning. There's a lot going through my head at the moment. Let's start with the most important thing. They vote for the Eighth Amendment, which is coming up in less than 2 weeks. It'll be coming up on Friday week. There's a lot of lies being spread around. There's a lot of shit being told. They pro pro-lifers are saying that abortion is murder, pretty much. It's the lies and the the levels that these people have gone to is absolutely disgusting. I get more and more angry the more that I see it. There's a lot of bad things happening in this country. There's so much bad things happening in this country at the moment that it's hard to fucking to put. I'm so angry about a lot of things. First, this pro-life movement. Most of their propaganda is lies and bullshit. Another serious issue that has come up in the last few weeks is the smear test that 17 women are now dead from not getting the correct results. The results were sent to the States and didn't get the right results, and 17 women who possibly could have survived the cancer if they had gotten the proper treatment and the proper diagnosis would hopefully would still be here with us. I mean, I'm not sure if you're on social media. Well, if you're obviously on social media, if you're seeing this. Ooh, I dropped my phone. But a woman had to go and say goodbye to her 5 children, 5 young kids, and just explain that, mommy's not going to be here anymore. Like, there's there's a lot of fucking anger towards that, and rightly so. I mean, we've come a long way. I think in the last 20 years, we've gone from the Magdalen houses. The last one closed in '96. It was still illegal to be gay in this country up until I think it was '98. I think in the last 20 years we have come on as a nation, and we've grown, and we're a more modern society. But when when you're telling a person who has cancer that they can't have the treatment, the first thing you do is, if they think you have cancer, if you're a female, as young as 16, as soon as you're a woman, or technically a woman, if you have cancer, the first thing to do before they give you any treatment is give you a pregnancy test, because if you're pregnant, you can't go through chemotherapy, which is a different kind of, I want to call it sadism. It feels sadistic to tell a person that we can't give you the treatment because uh, you're carrying a fetus, and people say, "Oh, it's not a fetus; it's a baby." No, until it comes out of the womb. In my opinion, it's a fetus, and it's kind of a choice of, is the woman's life not worth anything? I mean, if I genuinely think that rape is the worst thing you could possibly do to someone. Like, I genuinely think it is just the worst possible thing you could do to another human being. And then they turn around and tell a person that, no, you have to carry that child. And I've had discussions with other people and said, well, everyone has a right to life, but I mean, what kind of life is that? Like, I mean, this is it's a very tough discussion. It's hard to articulate it. And I've been talking about this so much, and it's all over. It's all over the news. It's all over Facebook. It's everywhere, and it's going to be in your face now for the next 2 weeks, and it's gearing up like. But I hope that on the 25th that they we right the wrong, and it's not like if it is a no vote, it's going to stop abortion. It just means that young women and their family and their partners have to, not just young women, just women, just women have to. I mean, it's not just a female problem. It's a it is a big decision to make that choice, obviously. But I mean, you have to you have to empathize and put yourself in that situation, I think. And it seems like they're from the pro life choice. There's absolutely no empathy. It's kind of chest pounding, and it's like no, you can't do that. You can't do that. There's getting back to the smear test. I mean, that's just another. What can you call it? Just a fucking clusterfuck. That the whole country. I mean, it was fucking went back as far as Mary Harney. She was. I believe it was Mary Harney who decided to pick a lab in the States. So, excuse me. Everything was sent over to the States to be checked, and there's now 17 women dead. That's 17 daughters, that's mothers, that's sisters, that's cousin. 17 people dead because our country fucked up. Because basically, the lab in Ireland could do. I'm not sure about the exact facts, but basically, let's say for example, the lab said they could do 40 in a day or in an hour, but the US lab said they could do 80. Right, they could do 80, but they fucked up enough from right. Like, and we don't know how long these repercussions are going to go on because we've 17 women died so far, and like the most important people in my life are the women in my life. My fiance, Shona, my mother, and my grandmother. Like, and when I look at them, I think, how could I live without these strong people, this support and this love? I genuinely couldn't imagine it. So I mean, my heart goes out to those families. I mean, for all the good that it does them, like, but I mean, they like the likes of fucking Harney and fucking Vracker and fucking O'Brien. The blood is on your hands. You have a lot to answer for, and you didn't fucking take responsibility, and you're still refusing to take responsibility, and it's absolutely disgusting. You need to stand up and say, we fucked up. That's two other issues. Another thing I want to talk about is another thing that's going on in this country, and it's called Ireland 2040. This is one of Vracker's by the days. He wants to increase the population of Ireland by 1 million people by 2040, which would mean massive immigration. He wants to have a more diverse population. I've no problem. I've some very, very good friends who are from all over the world. I've no problem with a mixed culture. My issue is that you can't fucking take care of the people that are living here now. The 4.6 million who are living in the Republic now. You can't house them. They're saying that we're as rich, if not richer now than the time of the Celtic Tiger. That there's jobs out there, but to be honest, them jobs, like all of our educated youth, all of our, I'm sure we all have friends and brothers and sisters, family that have just had to fuck off to Australia or New Zealand or Canada or the United States in search of a better life, and who can blame them? You can't blame anyone for going in search of greener pastures. Like, I mean, at this stage in Ireland, the only highest demographic that we hold in the Irish population is over 40s, and this is not being racist, or I've not against anyone who wants to come here and work and make a life for themselves and uh, get on just get on with their own lives. Like, I mean, it's the same way we did it in England in the 50s, we did it in the fucking States, uh, in the early 20th century and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm not gonna judge anyone who wants to come here, but to say we want to bring in another million people, another 1 million immigrants, while over the last 10 years we've had the mass of our youth has left the country. I think it's a bit sick. And the taxpayers now are being asked to pay 143 billion from now until 2040 to finance this project that they have. I'm a firm believer is charity starts at home, and we have young men and women dying on the streets of Dublin, Limerick, Cork, and most of the major towns and cities from homelessness. You have people being evicted. You have farmers who are having their land taken off them. Not so much nowadays, but I mean, this isn't ancient history. Like, this is stuff that happened 5 years ago. Like, I mean, I'm not talking about fucking something that happened 100 years ago. Like, this is like guys went into their fields and shot their livestock and then shot themselves rather than give it to the government. And unfortunately, that was a sad reality for a lot of men and families, and that's just facts. That happened. Like, that actually happened. So, like, well, it all seems to be like 2 steps forward and 3 steps back in this country. Like, I genuinely feel like this. The the whole the smear test campaign, well, not the campaign, but the fucking fiasco, probably the best way to put it, is absolutely unbelievable in this day and age that could happen. And like 17 women, you say 17 is a number, but I mean, every single one of those women had a name and a face and a family. So it's not just 17 women have lost their lives. It's like mothers As I said, mothers, sisters, daughters are no longer with us with a test that they went to get, which was supposed to uh, not so much protect them, but give them an early indicator of if this was a problem for them. And they've been severely let down. Uh, I know a lot of the families have sued the HSE, which is the right thing to do. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of anger going around about it. I mean, how could you not be angry? Like? But if you do look at the HSE, like the most underpaid people in our society, you have the Gardaí, you have nurses, and paramedics, and all very stressful jobs, all very tough jobs, and of course teachers as well. Like, but they don't get the recognition or the pay that they deserve, and they're expected to perform miracles, but they're not given the proper, what's the best way to put it, the life that they deserve, the work that they put in, the stress that goes into it. Like anyone who's ever been in the university hospital in Limerick, the regional, will see what them nurses go through. Um, there's, I think there's 60 people in beds right now, just in corridors. We had an elderly lady pass away in a bed in the corridor. Excuse me. Earlier this year. It's just not good enough. It really isn't good enough. I mean, and to be honest, I I feel a bit lost at the moment because how do you answer it? Like, I mean, you have the church who would be probably my nemesis in everything. I have great hatred towards the Catholic Church. Um, not the people involved with it, not the people who find comfort in it, not all of the priests, and there's many good people, but the lies that they are pushing, like the Vote No campaign, are saying that people will be using abortion as a contraceptive measure, but this is the church telling you about your sex life. This is the same church. If you go back to the early 2000s, we'd say, for example, the country Uganda, where the AIDS virus was first found. The Catholic Church set up hospitals, but they based their condition on medical support on uh, on contraception. They had ABC was the name of the program. It was trying to remember it now. It's abstinence, be faithful, and correct use of condoms. That was the idea, but that wasn't what the church were behind. And the church instead, and the Pope at the time, I think it was Ratzinger at the time, actually came out, and instead of saying that condoms are against our religion, he actually spread the lies that condoms helped spread the disease of HIV, and the misery that caused so many people is just phenomenal. Like, and they've never had to answer for that, and they probably never will. Like, but now they're saying that oh, if you don't want to get pregnant, then just don't have sex or use the right contraceptive measures. But contraception is against the Catholic religion anyway, so it's just it's fucking neon flashing hypocrisy. Like, it's absolutely sickening to listen to this shit. Yeah. So, as for the church, as I said, I've always been. I find this a bit insane to be lectured by a bunch of paedophiles or virgins or celibates tell me how to live my life, tell you about family values. They've no place telling you about family values. They're absolutely none. Like, this is a church that has protected and covered up murders and paedophilia rings within their own brotherhood, and it's absolutely disgusting. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say for tonight. I'm sorry it was a little bit aggressive, but it is a bit stressful coming up to the 25th of May. I hope everyone's as stressed as I am, because I'm hoping we get the right result, and I hope everyone will go out and vote yes and repeal the 8 and look after our women. It's about half our population, like, so take care of yourselves. I hope I've given you something to think about and discuss. Good luck.